What the hell did we just watch? Hey, everybody. Welcome to PHLY Flyers Postgame presented by Bet365. My name is Bill Matz. Tonight, I am joined in the Xfinity studio by Broad Street Hockey's own Kelly Hinkle. And I reiterate, what the hell did we just watch?
Sports are great.
That was barely a game. And maybe the most annoying game-tying goal of all time.
I'm not kidding. I can't remember a worse game. It was hideous. Not only was it low event.
Yes.
Not only was it sloppy as hell. They somehow end up tying it with a minute left and take it to overtime only to lose.
Only to get absolutely
Just
burned in
yes.
every... I don't even know if I'm speaking metaphorically. Like, I think Sanheim may need ointment after the way he was burned by Tim Stützle on that overtime game-winning goal. We have a lot of stats just about how ridiculous tonight's offensive performance was. I will say, like, the Sens are the second best shot suppression team in the league. They're allowing under 25 shots a game. They somehow allow over 3.25 goals per game, which is like, how bad is their goaltending?
Real bad. You know what?
It's so bad.
The Flyers couldn't score too.
It's so bad to the point that James Reimer started for them. James Reimer did not play in the NHL this season until January 18th. He was on a tryout in the AHL on January 11th. He was playing in the Spengler Cup over the holidays. The Flyers got their first shot on goal in this game with 4:25 left in the first period. They got a second shot on that same shift, and guess what? They were done for the first.
That's all.
Two shots on goal. Reimer turns 38 on March 15th. He has allowed 4 goals in 4 of his 6 starts prior to tonight. He came in with an .862 save percentage, and they just couldn't figure out a way to get the puck anywhere near him for the first 50 minutes of this game. They were at 5 shots on goal, the Flyers were. Through 40 minutes. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Through 34 minutes, 5 shots on goal. They got to 8 by the end of the second period. Somehow, and that somehow's name is Dan Vladar, they were only trailing 1-0. It took over 49 minutes to get their 10th shot on goal. 4 of their 16 shots came after the 50-minute mark, and I don't even know if it was really 16. They're giving Travis Konechny a shot on that last one. All right, I guess Reimer made the save, sure.
I don't know how that's true.
It is their lowest shot on goal total this season since they got 14 in an overtime loss to these same Sens back in November. And I decided to go back. I went back to 2015-16 and gave up. Yeah, because, like, what was I going to watch that game?
No.
I just went back through the game logs. So last year, their low shots on goal was 16. Again, that's what they somehow ended up with tonight. 2023-24, 19. 2022-23, 11. That's just 17, 17, 19, 19, 18, 16, 17. They weren't, I don't know how they ended up with 16 tonight, but it all came in the final 5 minutes of the game.
It sure did.
I am did this game take place in 1995? I really can't believe how anemic the offense was tonight. It felt like, listen, the Senators are a good defensive team, and they have been plagued by goaltending. We talked about it in pregame. But to not even threaten for 50 minutes is abso-freaking-lutely ridiculous, Kelly Hinkle.
The Senators are a good shot suppression team.
Yes.
They are not that good.
They give up, they're second best in the league. They give up 25 a game. It took them well over 60 minutes to get to 16.
Yeah. This is not a case of the Flyers just getting, outplayed by a superior talent. They just looked like absolute garbage for the entirety of this game.
They could not handle the puck. They could not deal with a stick check. They could not find a way to get the puck to the middle of the ice.
Speak of.
None.
I don't know what was happening.
It got to the point where they would dump the puck in, and Brian Boucher's trying to say, well, that was a good dump. Well, Hathaway could have had it.
Yeah.
Like, that's
there was a guy close to it.
He had a chance.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's really what it came down to tonight. It was an unbelievably bad game. I guess I should be. I mean, I'm most mad about the loser point because it's like, why?
So mad about
why even ruin Reimer's shutout in this little comeback he's having at 37 plus years old? Why even force us to watch a few more minutes of that game? Why add a point to the points total
They had
when
no
at this
business.
point it's very clear that Tankathon is the way to go?
They did not deserve a point in this game at all. It's the loser point I think I've ever seen in my life. It's embarrassing that they ended up with a point out of it. Like after this postgame is over, I don't want to think about this game ever again for the rest of my life. I'm going to block it.
Thank God they have 19 days off because I'm going to need 5 of them to forget about this game.
Seriously.
The amount of time in my life that this game ate up. And then they force overtime just to give us a glimmer of like, well, maybe something cool will happen. You know, Konechny comes down and scores that goal. It's like, all right, well, all's well that ends well, I guess. I guess we could say they were resilient and whatnot. But instead, it's TK on the ice. It's Dvorak. It's Olympian Sanheim getting absolutely taken to school. And poor freaking Dan Vladar takes the loss in this one as if he had any hand in the loss whatsoever.
I'm sure he's happy that he's going to be away from that locker room for a little bit because I would want to slap each and every one of these dudes in the face. After these last 2 games, like, yeah, they won the last one, but on the back of him playing out of his mind.
Spoiler, when it gets to Game Changer, we're going to talk about Dan Vladar a lot more, but right now, it's time for the Unsung Hero presented by Togo. Togo, the leader in operations outsourcing. Let Togo handle the work that gets in the way of your work. You call the plays, we execute. Togo.
Is it me for not quitting?
I decided with about 10 minutes left in the game that tonight's Unsung Hero would be your captain, Sean Couturier.
Wow.
Because through 50 minutes of game time, Kelly, he was the only Flyer with 2 shots on goal. Sanheim got a second just after the 10-minute mark. A few guys got there tonight. Konechny with the shot that they gave him in overtime gets his second shot. Michkov ended up with 2. We had him over 2.5. So I guess tonight was not the night for a shots prop. And Sanheim and Drysdale each had 2. Drysdale, the game-tying goal, was his second. But through 50 minutes, one Philadelphia Flyer had 2 shots. And it was the guy who hasn't scored since December 7th. That's how bad this performance was offensively tonight. And again, credit to the Sens. It's not like the Flyers weren't trying. I have no problem with like the effort. It's just like you can't get through one check. You can't figure out a way to get the puck to the middle of the ice for one shot in the slot. It's James Reimer. He's no good.
According to the internet, the Flyers missed 21 shots.
There were a lot of blocks. There were, when they did get opportunities,
blocks, 21 times they simply missed the net.
And that's just
that's unacceptable, man. It's not.
When the opportunities are as few and far between as they were tonight. Again, it took 49 minutes to get to 10. 10. You can't, you have to bear down and not miss when you actually have the chance. And I realize, like, yeah, it's not as easy. You're not just trying to hit the goalie in the chest because that's pointless. But, like, I don't know, it's James Reimer. Maybe try to bounce one off him for a rebound.
It wouldn't have been.
Like, try to get some sort of traffic, bang one home on a rebound. Like, do something. I realize you're trying to pick a spot or whatever, but after the first period, when you're like, we got 2 shots on goal, fam. It has to become throw the freaking puck towards the net.
Fire it.
Just shoot as
from
soon as
anywhere.
you get over the blue line. Who cares? Get it towards the net and see if something good happens. No, they just could not break this apparent 1995 New Jersey Devils defense.
Yeah, right. The Ottawa Senators.
And that is what makes Sean Couturier tonight's unsung hero, because through 50 minutes, he was the only one who had the idea twice, let me just get the puck towards the freaking goalie. That's where we are tonight.
That's where we are.
I shouldn't even be this mad about the loss. It's the fact that it ate up that much of my time.
For some reason, I know I'm supposed to be happy that they tied it.
I'm not.
Because they played so poorly for approximately 58 minutes.
Yes.
It was actually insulting that they took it to overtime.
Yeah. No, it was like...
It's disrespectful of our time, Brenna's time.
All of yours, waiting for postgame, and we greatly appreciate you. That thumbs up button, that is a protest against what we saw tonight. If you hated watching that game, hit the thumbs up button because it was not enjoyable. And even if you're on Team Tank, like we all should be at this point, like the simple fact that this took over 60 minutes to do. The game started at 7. We are starting at 10 o'clock. It was 5 of 10 when we started the show.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable that they just came out and were completely unable. The Senators, again, good shot suppression team. They are in last place in the Atlantic Division. They are 1 point up on the Flyers by coming into tonight. By points percentage, the Flyers were slightly ahead of them because they had a game in hand. Really? You get... I can't believe I just took the time to watch that game.
I want to talk about so many parts of it. And I know that's crazy because all of it was bad. But like I was saying before we started, like I could go frame by frame on that overtime. So many things were wrong with what happened there. I know you're saying that they credited TK with a shot. I don't.
That's what it says in the play-by-play and the box score. They're at 16 shots.
He did not hit the net. There's no way he hit the net. And then
for it to come out the way it did, it seems odd.
For it to come out the way, there's no way. Then, as the Senators are heading up the ice, Christian Dvorak thinks, you know what? It's a good time for me to coast on over to the bench for a change right now. Not even hustle. Just like, let's get coast
well,
on
that's
back.
that. I mean,
I guess he was already resigned to the fact that was going to happen. And then your best defenseman looks like Hal Gill.
Their best defenseman is Jamie Drysdale.
I guess.
At this point, it's hard to argue.
Everything about it was bad. And then I get pissed off again because you refuse to play Matvei Michkov in overtime. Why? Because you might have an odd man rush against. There might be a defensive liability on the 3-on-3 in overtime. You don't want to see that happen. You're crap in overtime. They're terrible at 3-on-3. Why don't we try something different? Maybe an offensive dynamo out there. Maybe somebody that can do something creative, can hold on to the puck, can hit the net when he shoots it. Something like this. I'm not the NHL's best coach, according to everybody. That's where we're talking.
Going back to 2023-24, so the year before Michkov got here, 2 players have 3 overtime goals for this Flyers team, Matvei Michkov and Sean Couturier. He's the leader, including a season in which he played 0 games.
And then another thing I'm going to complain about. I'm just going to complain about everything. This game sucked. So we're giving Michkov more minutes because Dad yelled at us, right? So we got to play the kid more. Everyone's mad at me. I got to give him minutes. Who's he take the minutes away from, Bill? Denver Barkey. Why is Denver Barkey playing 9 minutes now?
So going back to 2021-22. Still, many seasons. Michkov, Tippett, and Couturier all have 3 overtime winners for this team. Maybe get him out there. All right, on the other side, we're going to talk about tonight's game changer. You probably can guess. But we got to take our first break.
Okay.
All right, it's time to tell you about the game-changing deals at Elkin Chevrolet, because Elkin Chevrolet, it's run by 3 brothers. They're real brothers. They're local guys, and yup, they are big Flyers fans, which means you know they have a ton of loyalty. And right now at Elkin Chevrolet, they're putting on a President's Day sales event where the deals are bigger and better than ever. If you're in need of a truck, they've got it. If you're looking for an SUV, they have that too. And every vehicle comes with the kind of service that makes you feel like you're a part of their family. But don't wait. These President's Day deals are only here for a very short time. So swing by Elkin Chevrolet. It's on Route 73 South in Marlton, New Jersey, and get in on the deals that are just plain honkin' good. Elkin Chevrolet, real brothers, real deals, and a whole lot of honkin' good service. Elkin Chevy, together let's drive, and together Let's go Flyers. All right, everybody, it's time for me to tell you about Crooked Tea. Everybody's got their favorite hard tea right now. You go to liquor stores in Jersey, the grocery stores in PA, they're all over the place. So how do you choose? You choose by turning that can around, because while others hide what's inside, Crooked Tea brags about what's in their can. Because Crooked Tea brews real USDA organic tea for real flavor with zero sugar. There's no fake junk hiding behind the label. What you see, it's what you drink. So next time you're at the store, flip that can, and if you can't find the ingredients, just put it back on the shelf. Then grab a Crooked Tea, zero sugar, real tea, and fully transparent. Philly recognizes real. Don't drink that fake junk. It is the go-to for Flyers and Eagles tailgates. There's absolutely no reason to choose anything else, so don't drink that fake stuff. Crooked Tea, the only thing better, it is a strip sack in the Super Bowl. Visit crookedtea.com to find a store near you. Go Birds, and let's go Flyers. It's time for tonight's Game Changer, driven by Elkin Chevrolet. Elkin Chevy, together, let's drive. It is damn Vladar. It is Dan Vladar. He gives up 2 tonight. Should have only really been 1 because this game had no business even going to overtime. 25 saves on 27 shots. That's a .926 for the game. Was 8 for 8 in the first period. Made a breakaway save in the second. Stopped 12 of 13 in the second. It was shot number 17 that beat him to put the Sens up 1-0. Shots at the time were 17-5. He stops all 5 shots he faced in the third, and then, of course, gives up the overtime winner. But another solid game for Dan Vladar. And I just want to, because one of the things during this break I was going to talk about is like some off-season stuff they could do. Vladar signed a 2-year contract here, which means on July 1st, he's eligible for an extension. And that was something I was going to, you think they'd be interested in doing that, Charlie? Like something that would come up.
Yeah.
I can't believe he would be. I simply can't believe he would be because of some of these numbers. This is the 6th time this season he has lost in overtime or a shootout. He has a .910 save percentage in these 6 overtime losses. He has not allowed more than 2 goals in regulation in any of these 6 overtime or shootout losses. It is the 5th time this season he has taken a 2-1 loss or overtime loss. 2-1. He has 14 total losses. More than a third of them have come in games they have lost 2-1. He has to be. I know he was mad about something leaving the ice. They were probably chirping or just celebrating real hard in front of him. Yeah. He gets beat on a breakaway, basically, because it was a one-on-one. But I mean, Sanheim turned it into a breakaway. He should be mad at everybody in front of him tonight because he was the only guy who really stood out to me. He was, again, really, really good. He loses a game in which his save percentage will go up at least somewhat, at least fractionally. And I feel bad for the guy at this point. Like, he has come here and established himself as a true starting netminder in the NHL, a pretty good one, and he just can't get any support.
Yeah, I mean, this is something we could talk about on this future show that you've envisioned.
Yeah.
But, like, I guess you would have to take a gamble. Like, if next year you're not this good, then, you know, hitting the market's not going to really do you any favors.
Yeah.
But, like, if he's this good
and goalies are just so ridiculous the way the fluctuations
no one knows.
are.
Yeah. If I were him, I would have gone into that locker room, put my pajamas on or whatever they do, and walked out without speaking to anybody.
I would almost, or I would actually go and be like, no, I actually want to talk to the media tonight. But he's probably a classy guy. He's looking forward to going to the Olympics.
He got a cool new mask.
The mask is sick.
The mask is pretty sick.
The Iron Maiden Metallica mask, that was really, really cool. I like that a lot. Again, the Flyers, they have, look at that. And, well, we'll talk about it with Charlie. Joining us now on the Xfinity mobile call-in line, it is Philly's #1 hockey beat writer, Charlie O'Connor. And typically, Charlie, I say you're on the Xfinity mobile call-in line, you're at the Xfinity mobile arena, but tonight you're at the Core State Center with all the clutching and grabbing and inability for the Flyers to get to the middle of the ice whatsoever. Was this game actually played in 1996 and I didn't realize it?
Bill, do we have to talk about hockey? Like, can we talk about your what television shows you've watched
What concerts
recently?
are you
Your
I
going
was gonna
to over the
say, Jake,
break?
are you going to any
what
concerts?
yeah, like what movie do you want to win Best Picture this year at the Academy Awards? Because I can tell you,
Toxic
any of the
Avenger.
any of those conversations will be
I
way
find it
way
interesting
more
that Sinners
interesting
got
and
a
enthralling.
nom. To be honest with you, it's not really a traditional kind of film that gets nominated for Best Picture, but you love to see it.
You're not wrong, but it was a good movie. I
It was
enjoyed it. And
good.
I'm not usually a horror guy. Good movie.
It was good.
Anyway, there was a hockey game played tonight,
Sorta.
allegedly,
Allegedly.
at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Hilariously, the Flyers get a point out of it, which I haven't
Is
decided.
maddening.
I haven't decided if I find it the funniest thing in the world or the most infuriating thing in the world that they got a point out of that game. But
Infuriating.
Dan Vladar certainly deserved it. He
Yeah.
played very, very well. And, good job, Jamie Drysdale. You got 2 goals in 2 games. But for 59 minutes of that game, and I'm going to be clear because I'm going to break this down in my article. Like, defensive zone, they were mostly okay. Neutral zone, like, they were mostly okay. As soon as they passed the blue line, the Ottawa blue line, they just forgot how to play NHL caliber hockey. It was wild how many dumb passes they were making, turnovers, not moving their feet in order to create lanes to actually get shots through, just straight up missing shots when you have a lane. It was wild, the level of bad execution that the Flyers had in the offensive zone tonight. With the amount of time that they had the puck, the amount of possession time, they should have had 30 shots on goal. Instead, they didn't crack what? They didn't crack 15. What did they finish with? 13, 14?
They're ultimately giving them 16, and they're
16,
saying like
okay.
TK's shot in overtime hit Reimer. I don't know, but I honestly don't believe the number. They had 8 shots through 2 periods. It took them over 49 minutes to get to 10. Charlie, I like have questions for you, and it's simply like I don't know. It sucked. It all sucked. The end. But we'll get to some of this stuff. When you watch how tough it was, because I do want to credit the Senators. It's not like they came out and were like, they played a good defensive game. They checked the Flyers hard. But when you watch how tough the Sens defense was to penetrate, are you sitting there just wondering how bad their goaltending must be to come into this game last in the Atlantic?
That's a really good point. Yeah, they have disappointed this season, to be sure. And that I think is another super frustrating part about this game is that, the Flyers luck out going into this game that Olmark's sick. So they get to face Reimer, who basically got picked up literally off the scrap heap midway through this season and came into this game, I think, with an .862 save percentage, like around Sam Ersson levels. And then you finish the game with 16 shots on goal. That is infuriating. Now, you're right. Ottawa plays this way. They are a very tight checking team. They play like a new style version of the trap. A lot of block shots. They protect the house. Things like they're right on you. The power play, their penalty kill was extremely tight checking. They were very aggressive. The Flyers struggle with that, but it's not like that type of defense can't be beaten. Yeah, I know Ottawa doesn't give up a lot of shots on goal, but as you said, they're last in the Atlantic for a reason. They're not that great of a team. To me, this was a case of, number one, the Flyers the Flyers, to me, like, they looked like a team that was ready for the break. And if they were going to succeed against this kind of defense, they were going to need that extra oomph, and they just didn't have that extra oomph because maybe they're just like, this has been a long last 5-6 weeks with the losses, with the outside noise, and they were just like, yeah, we're not going to battle. Like, we're going to just take shots and hopefully they go in, because that's the way it felt watching this game, that it was like, it wasn't that they weren't trying. It's that they were going to have to try harder in order to create the kind of shots and chances they were going to need to, they were going to have to create to win this game. And instead it was just like, well, let's just hope and prayer and hopefully we get a deflection or a bounce or something.
Charlie, I know you were tracking how much they dumped it in and how few retrievals they had, and you're there, so you can't hear the broadcast, but it got to a point in the third period where Bush is like, see, now that's a good dump in, because at least it gave Hathaway a chance, and he didn't even get the puck. It was just like, it was in the right spot. They almost did it right. Like, that's what it got to in terms of creating any sort of forecheck or anything tonight. Yeah. But I will say, yeah, they did have some good possession time in the third period. Whatever, don't care. They got 2/3 of their shots after the 10-minute mark of the third. It did seem like through 40 minutes they could have used a defenseman who could win a race to a puck in a corner and maybe get a quick up so you could try to get behind this defense that was allowing nothing. The Andre thing ultimately doesn't matter. It just feels like to me they've made the determination like, yeah, he probably ain't it. And that's fine with me, but you brought this up and I hadn't even thought of it. Why not go 11 forward, 7D at this point?
Yeah, I don't know. And these are the kinds of coaching decisions that annoy me the most. Again, not because they're extremely consequential. I don't think it's likely that if Andre plays in this game, the Flyers win in regulation or whatever, win in overtime. I don't think that's likely. It's more just it's the Tim Robinson hot dog meme. Like the coach goes out there and goes out there to the media and is like, yeah, I really want to get Andre in one of these last 2 games. And then he doesn't get him in one of these last 2 games. Like you're the coach. Like if you want to get him in one of these last 2 games, then get him in one of these last 2 games. Like don't just throw up your hands and be like, well, sorry, Todd Reardon wanted to keep the penalty kill the same, so guess I can't do it. Like it drives me nuts when coaches act like they don't have control of their own actions. If you want Andre to play one of these final 2 games, play him in one of these final 2 games. It's really that simple. Like you're literally the guy who makes the lineups. We're just looking for the guy here who did this,
And in terms of keeping the penalty kill the same, Juleson's averaged in these last now 5 games under 30 seconds per game on the PK. They only had 1 penalty tonight. He got no shorthanded ice time. I think he had 4 seconds in the last game. And listen, even if we need him because he's our 5th guy in the rotation, so if Sanheim takes a penalty, he is going in there. Okay. Look at this 4th line. We're rotating Grundstrom and Hathaway and Delorier. These are inconsequential players. I'm not saying Andre matters that much, but what kind of asset management is this? He last played on January 26th. They're not coming back to February 25th. I'm no math magician here, but that's a month. That's a month without playing a young player who might be something, or you might want to use in a trade one day if he's not something that you want to keep around. But what the hell do I know? Chuck, again, who cares? But I'm sorry. I know this isn't the best content for everyone watching, but I feel like most people probably feel like we do. Coots gets all the flack for his scoring drought. We all know it's been since December 7th. We're closing in on 30 games. Noah Cates has no goals and 4 assists in the last now 18 games, and half of that production was 2 assists against Anaheim. What have you seen out of Cates lately, and where did the offense go?
Yeah, I mean, he's still playing okay in terms of defense, but yeah, the offense has dried up. Rick Tocchet actually was honest about it earlier this week. I think I tweeted it out. Basically said yeah, he misses Tyson Forster. It's abundantly clear that's what's going on here is that, and we talked about this I think back in October and November, that when you have a line like that where you have 3 guys that clearly have great chemistry, usually 2, 3, 4 years down the road, you think back and you're like, oh, right, that Tyler Johnson, Andre Palat, Nikita Kucherov line, yeah, those other 2 guys were okay, but Nikita Kucherov was really the engine behind that line in retrospect. I have a feeling that in 2, 3 years, we're going to be saying yeah, it was Forster. Forster was the real good player, and the other 2 guys were solid enough role players who were able to play off of all the good things that Forster did. I think probably that's what's going. I like Noah Cates. I think he's a perfectly solid role player, but we are seeing that for him to be a point producer, he needs the proper line mates to do it. And it just doesn't seem like he has the proper. And he's on a line with Michkov. I know Michkov isn't rookie year Michkov, but he's still a very skilled, very talented player capable of popping on any given night. So it's not like Cates doesn't have help. It's just that for whatever reason, he just seems to mesh really well with Forster stylistically. And now the Forster's out, Cates is basically just left being a good defensive player, and that's it.
Michkov was one of the few guys who looked like he might make a play tonight for whatever the hell that's worth in a game where the offense was non-existent. We can get in this tomorrow because we need something to talk about. The thing about the Forster injury, he was hurt December 1st. In the 16 games immediately following that injury, Noah Cates, 11 points. It's the 17 games after that, and maybe he was just rolling with momentum. That's when the team was just scoring a ton. So maybe he's picking up some assists here and there, you know, just because, like, well, if he drives play and the team's scoring, he's probably going to pick up some points. But it is funny to me because that was my thought. And then I went back and looked at the game logs and was like, huh. Actually, for December, he was okay. It really started in the new year, but it's neither here nor there.
Wasn't he getting power play time at one point? Because that might have been juicing his numbers a little bit.
That could have been it as well. I didn't look that far into it, but once again, you have outsmarted me, Chuck.
I just remember him
like
being
that
on the power
sometimes.
play earlier,
Yeah.
and he certainly isn't on the power play anymore. But he might not have been getting many points in the power play either, because like the Flyers' power play is generally bad. So I'm not sure. There's more a question than a statement.
Yeah, I probably. It's not like the power play scores a lot, but they may have a few times in there. You know, they get one every now and then. Go ahead, Kelly. I know I'm just rambling.
No, you're good. So Charlie, the Flyers are hot garbage 3-on-3. When do you think they will try something different?
It's a really good question, and I actually asked Rick Tocchet that after the game. I more or less was like, so you guys keep losing in 3-on-3. You're going to have a week in between, you know, the end of the break, but your first game where you're going to be practicing as a group. Like, is that going to be a focus, you know, of trying to, you know, make some changes to 3-on-3? And Tocchet more or less said no. He basically said, like, well, it was a 2-on-1, and if Konechny scores on that, then we win. So, like, it's more execution than the plan. So there's that.
It's a really great insight from one of the world's leading hockey minds. If Travis Konechny had scored a goal there, the Flyers would have won. He should have just done that.
Chuck,
They should do that more.
If Chase Utley's knees are healthy, he ties the game in the 9th against the Cardinals, and 1 bloody nil never happens. You know, have you ever thought of that? We'll get into some of this other stuff tomorrow. It's just very funny. You have to go back to 2019-20 to find a Flyer with 4 overtime goals. Matvei Michkov tied for the team lead since 2020-21. Anyway, how much of your story did you have written, and how mad were you when Jamie Drysdale scored?
I honestly wasn't mad. I wrote almost none of the story, just a couple notes here and there, because I was expecting it to be a very short 10 observations, because like, what is there really to write about in a game where the Flyers only played in 2 zones of the rink for 58 minutes and however many seconds?
Yeah, I feel you there. At least you didn't have to waste all those beautiful words that you write. All right, I don't know how you're going to do this one, but it's
I'm
time
ready,
for
Charlie.
Charlie O'Connor's 3 stars of the game. I've said that way too much recently, but it is what it is. Chuck, who was star number 3?
Yeah, I mean, star number 3 is Jamie Drysdale. He does score the game tying goal. It's nice to see him at least beginning to produce some goals. Scored 2 nights ago on the power play to give the team the win. Scores here to give the team a point at the end of regulation. So hopefully Jamie Drysdale can use these final 2 games as something to make him feel pretty good going into the break, and then maybe we can see more offense from him coming out of the Olympic break. So Jamie Drysdale, 3rd star.
Who is star number 2?
Yeah, star number 2 is Dan Vladar. Obviously he was great. You know, makes a ton of saves, keeps the Flyers in game they should not have been in. And that's not even to say that like Ottawa created a ton, but they created enough to score, I would say, like 3 goals. And the Flyers were never getting to 3 goals in this game. There was 0.0000001% chance that they were going to get to 3 goals in this game. The only way they were going to have a chance of getting a point is if Dan Vladar held the Senators to 0 goals or 1 goal, and he held them to 1 goal. So Dan Vladar, I mean, slam dunk 2nd star.
So they probably should have started Kolosov in each of these last 2, and the tank would be in better shape. Charlie, if it's not Vladar, who is star number 1?
The friends we made along the way.
Yeah, star number 1 is also Dan Vladar.
Yeah. That was better than the joke I suggested, Charlie. That was way better because it built up a little. By the time we got to 1, if 3 and 2 were the star, yeah, that's funnier. Way to go.
Yeah, Dan Vladar, 1st star of the game for all the reasons that I just articulated 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, Chuck, does before I let you go, does Vladar ever speak after games?
He usually speaks after games. He was requested to speak after this game, and he chose not to speak after this game.
You know what?
He's big mad, and understandably.
Probably the right call there. I just wish he had, because I think the thing I'm most mad about is They forced the 3-on-3, which inevitably meant he was going to have to give up another goal because that's the only way it ever goes. Again, 2-8 in overtime this year. Like, he should be upset about that. Like, the fact that he now takes another loss on his record when, like, he was the only one who showed up tonight. All right, that is Charlie O'Connor live at the Xfinity Mobile Arena on the Xfinity Mobile call-in line. I will see you at 4 o'clock tomorrow, Charles.
Bye, Charlie.
All right, sounds good. Bye, Kelly. Bye, Bill.
All right. On the other side, we're gonna find some other things to talk about before we get to your super chats and whatnot. But we got to take our second break. Do we really want Matvei Michkov playing goalie? No, it's not worth the risk, the time, or the money. It doesn't make sense. You want to keep your stars focused on what they do best, and the same applies to your business. For small and mid-sized businesses competing with bigger companies, it isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. With competition heating up, you can't afford to fall behind. AI goes way beyond ChatGPT, and it gets overwhelming fast. That's why having a trusted guide like Togo matters. Togo streamlines your operations by handling customer service, accounting, order management, logistics, admin, data entry, and even complex multi-step processes without the cost of building it all in-house. And every engagement with Togo starts with free process mapping, and Togo doesn't bill a dime until the real work begins. Programs start as low as $1,000 a month and are built to scale without breaking the bank. Visit harnesstogo.com and mention PHLY for a free operational assessment. All right, listen, we all know the feeling. You walk into a jewelry store, you're trying to pick out something special for your partner, and suddenly you are in over your head. You're thinking, what's the difference between all these diamonds? What if they don't like it? I'm about to spend a bunch of money and I am stressed out. That's why working with Joe and Michelle at Bucci's Jewelry and Design has been such a game changer. From the moment you walk in the door, they treat you like family. There's no pressure, no pushy sales, just people who actually listen. They help you figure out exactly what your partner will love and design a completely custom piece right there in-house. And right now, gold prices are over $5,000 an ounce. So if you've got old jewelry sitting around, Bucci's can help you sell it for cash, refurbish old pieces, or turn it into something brand new. 30 plus years in the game, Philly's #1 jeweler with over 1,000 5-star reviews. So whether you're buying new or turning old gold into something special, visit Bucci's Jewelry and Design at BucciJewelers.com and tell them PHLY sent you. Yeah, Kelly, I want to get back to that 3-on-3 comment you made with Chuck there.
Yeah.
Like I said, you have to go back. If you go back 6 seasons now, so 2020, 21 to present, the leaders for Flyers in overtime goals: Sean Couturier, 3 in 282 games. Travis Sanheim, 3 in 435 games. Ivan Provorov, 3 in 217 games, no longer on the team. Owen Tippett, 3 in 309 games. Matvei Michkov, 3 in 135 games. If you go back to 1920, that puts Coots and Provorov with 4, and Hayes had 3 in there as well. So you have to go back 7 seasons before you have someone with more overtime goals than Matvei Michkov scored in just 1 season last year. Flyers are 2-8 in the 3-on-3. Their winners were scored by Sanheim and Coots.
It's almost like a player like Michkov is better with more space.
And again, you know what? I'm glad they didn't get 2 points out of this BS. I almost did it, but BS performance tonight.
I'm proud of you.
But I don't know if Rick Tockett's trying to win. Yeah, I guess if TK scores, but they also, I suppose he hit the goalie with that shot.
Yeah.
But they missed 20 shots tonight. Maybe go with the guy who has a chance.
I believe
not that he's on fire, but he has a chance.
Well, first of all, he looked pretty darn good tonight. There was, at the end of the second period, he's skating his chubby little butt, skating around the entire perimeter of the zone, while every other Flyers player was standing perfectly still in the center of the ice next to a Senator defenseman. What were we doing here? So Michkov looks great again tonight. One of the few that did. You're trying to win hockey games. Genuinely. I believe he's trying to win hockey games. But in here, you think to yourself, that's not going to do it. not that guy. He's not the one that's going to win it. What if he gives up an odd man? Like, I know that's what it is. It's the defense part.
I almost want to, because they're so bad at the 3-on-3, like maybe he would have got more overtime shifts tonight or throughout this season if they didn't lose so many in the first or second shift.
I know.
Like, because it's always the first or second shift.
Really is.
As soon as it goes to
As soon as
overtime,
they
you're
lose
like,
the puck,
that's that. But I will say, and like nobody was like good tonight. I'm not gonna like sit and, well, Michkov was good. Damn. I will say though, like again, 2 shots on goal. Nobody had more for the Flyers. He created the game's most dangerous chance at that point early in the second period, trying to break a guy down. He did have a bad turnover later in the second. He just kind of throws a puck into the middle of the ice on his backhand on a breakout. I was at that point monitoring his ice time, and he did get his next shift. I was proud of the coach for that.
Yeah, there you go.
He created.
Got to talking to.
He created a zone entry with like 5:50 left in the second. That resulted in a shot on goal for Cates after Brink got him the puck from behind the net. It was Michkov that did a lot of the work before he got it over to Brink behind the net. It was their first shot in 5 minutes at that point. Like you said, circled the zone with the puck, looking to find an opening late in the second, and just nobody cut or found any space. They were all just standing still, and they're checking him so tightly. And you have 2 guys right on top of the crease. He didn't have a shooting lane. Someone in the middle of the ice needs to get open there. Finishes with just under 15 minutes of ice time tonight. I did think he continued to at least look better than he has for the most part this season. He's been on a run where he has looked more confident with the puck and has at least attempted to make some plays.
And he certainly doesn't look out of shape.
No.
I don't want to hear that again. I'm so tired of it. I don't want to hear it again. I understand he came into camp out of shape. I accept that as true. That's obviously true. He's not out of shape anymore. He's perfectly capable of playing a normal amount of minutes for a forward. Like it's just I don't want to hear it again. If I see another article about how fat he is, I'm going to lose my mind. Like the kid is fine physically. He can play hockey at a very high level. They just need to let him do it. And they refuse. Maybe this is something you can talk about on the show tomorrow, because I don't know what else you're going to talk about. I'm genuinely curious because we got a lot at the beginning of this season, a lot of pushback on me specifically saying that I don't believe Rick Tocchet is a good coach. I don't understand why everyone keeps calling him a good coach. I don't understand why this is his reputation. I just never have seen any tangible results that say to me, Rick Tocchet is a good coach. If you were one of those people that genuinely thought coming into this season, we just hired one of the best coaches in the NHL, this is going to be great. I'm genuinely wondering if you still think that.
Yeah, and just
would genuinely like to know.
You know,
you can at me.
You can at me.
I would like.
She won't check the Twitter, so you can go ahead.
Well,
you can do
You
it.
need to be on Twitter. You have to be nice to me on Blue Sky.
It's a little bit different of a customer base there. Yeah. But no, just like looking at me, like no one's saying he's been perfect this year, but just going back to the 3-on-3 thing, like give him a chance. Nobody else has a chance.
And also, like, what are you gonna lose? You stink. Yeah, that's what you're doing is bad.
You're 2-8. You've 10 games have been decided in the 3-on-3 this year. They have lost all but 2 of them. Like, I don't know. Give it a shot.
Try something else. I swear to God, it's always Sanheim and Konechny. I don't know if it's always Dvorak because my brain is leaky, but I feel like he never does anything different in overtime. He keeps going to the same well, and it has not worked at all.
And getting back to that 3-on-3 thing, like 3 overtime winners, you have to go back 7 seasons to find a Flyer with more. And like a few of them like aren't on the team anymore. Provorov, Kevin Hayes, they're with their second or third organizations since then.
They're on a farm.
It's just like I don't see, like Tim Stützle has 2 against the Flyers this year. It can't be this hard to win a game in overtime. No. It simply cannot be. And he's really good. Like he's a star player.
Sure, he's
but like
good.
So too could this guy if given the opportunity. There has to be, like Elliot Friedman said, I think he had a radio hit the other day where he was like, yes, Matvei Michkov needs to play better. he also needs to be in a little bit.
That was today, I think, actually.
Oh, was that today? Yeah.
I think it was, yeah.
Like, needs to be, there
Put
needs
in
to
a
be a
better
meeting in
position.
the middle.
Yeah.
Kind of just let him cook, especially
on
with
the
the
wrong
season
side?
going in this direction.
Yeah, even Friedman pointed out, why is he on the wrong side?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
No one knows the answer to that question.
That thing is, like, it's so, I guess now, like, you have him kind of hard matched with Bobby Brink, who just seems to be just a right winger. I don't know. I don't know.
It's very important that Bobby Brink plays where he's comfortable. That's what's important here. I don't know.
Let's talk about that Sanheim thing again.
When he
What
turned
the
into
hell?
Al
Like, again, listen, he is. It's not as if he was up against Nick Delorier there, but like, he never had a chance.
Not even
That
a little
was,
bit.
and it, like, at first it's like, oh, it was a 2-on-1. It wasn't. That was a 1-on-1. If he drops that puck, you say thank God. Like,
you know what's interesting? Now that I'm thinking, because I watched it like 6 times in the minutes leading up to this show, I couldn't stop watching it. It was almost like as soon as that puck went off the board and the Senators got it, I think Dvorak and Konechny were both like, nah, that's it. Like, I feel like both of them quit on the play. And I don't really know if they could have done anything. Maybe they couldn't. But both Dvorak goes to change. Konechny's coasting in.
Say he breaks that up. Say Sanheim does make the play, pokes it out to center. Fresh legs come on, and I guess you have fresh legs to take, because that's all that could happen there. He's either going to score or you get lucky and maybe get a breakaway the other way. I don't know. I do wonder, like, John Cooper sitting there watching this going, so I can't have Matthew Schaefer. Why? Like, I'm not even bringing him?
Yeah.
Like, I don't expect Sanheim to play a ton, but you have, like, one of the best defensemen overall in the league just sitting there, and it's like, no disrespect to Sanheim. I like him overall as a player. He's fine, but he's not that guy.
Well, he's lucky he had a good 4 Nations.
Yeah. All right. On the other side, we are going to talk a little bit more Zegras at center, maybe some Drysdale stuff, and take your super chats. All right, everybody, listen up. I got to tell you how I start my day each and every morning. I start at my Wawa. Now, this might be an ad read, but I think everyone watching right now has to know how much I love Wawa. And now, Wawa's giving us yet another reason to love them. It's the $5 big breakfast deal. For just $5, you can get any Sizzly breakfast sandwich, any size hot or iced coffee, plus a hash brown every morning from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's right, a breakfast Sizzly, a coffee, and a hash brown for just $5 from your local Wawa. That's value, that's convenience, and that's deliciousness all together in one deal. And while you're picking up your coffee, check out the brand new Caramel Chocolate Craze coffee flavors. You can try caramel, you can try chocolate, or you can mix both together for a sweet treat that will start your morning off right. The $5 big breakfast deals for a limited time and exclusions apply. See Wawa.com for details. No need to overthink breakfast. Just grab, go, and get on your day with Wawa. Gotta have a Wawa. If joint or muscle pain is keeping you from doing the things you enjoy, whether it's walking the dog, working out, or just moving comfortably throughout your day, it's time to get the care that you deserve. At Rothman Orthopedics, you'll find expert treatment for injuries and chronic conditions alike, with personalized care focused on helping you move better sooner. Rothman's 190-plus fellowship-trained physicians specialize in specific areas of the body and a multitude of orthopedic services, including hip, knee, spine, foot, and ankle. You name it, Rothman's got it. From diagnosis to discharge, they provide their patients with every service and procedure necessary, such as x-rays, orthotics and bracing, MRIs, physical therapy, and much more. Rothman proudly serves dozens of communities across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Florida with 30-plus convenient offices, urgent cares, and walk-in centers. Visit rothmanortho.com/PHLY to schedule your appointment. Rothman Orthopedics, your mobility, our mission. Let's go Flyers. Yeah, let's go Flyers.
Let's go.
Before we do the thing everyone loves, I do want to touch on this Zegras at center thing real quick, because I just saw a number that's very funny. He was 1 for 6 in the faceoff circle. That's not very good.
He moved him to wing.
Yeah, but that's... So Zegras centering Barkey and Tippett. They got 5 minutes and 1 second together at 5-on-5. The shot attempts were 4-4 even. Shots on goal 2-3 in favor of Ottawa. Okay. Then he gets put back with Dvorak and Konechny with Zegras on the wing. They out attempted the Senators 17-2. Shots on goal, 3-2.
Why can't they hit the net?
I don't know. I
Do they
don't
need a
know.
shooter too?
Unblocked attempts, 9-2. Like, unfreaking believable how much they just straight up missed. When that line is out there, effective, getting shot, and like nothing even comes close. They got 3 of their 17 attempts hit the net. Unbelievable.
That's
All
not
right.
that many.
Without further ado, it's Tankathon time. It's everybody's favorite segment. The Flyers are, I can't even see where they are. They are at 11 now, thanks to the loser point. Brenna, spin that wheel. They stay at 11. In this range, it's really hard to move.
Yeah.
Like, because you either have to basically win or like someone with even worse odds than you has to win to move you down.
Yeah, what we need to do is we need to launch a campaign, all of us here together, to drive home the point that Gavin McKenna is a bad child. And he should probably not be taken high in the draft because he's got character issues.
I mean, if anything else, he's a Flyer.
Could we get him mono?
Could we get him on? That was the third break, right, Bryn? Yeah. We're good. All right.
It worked for us before.
It has. All right. It's time to get to your super chats, and there's a decent number of them because people are mad, and that's great for content. J.E. Frucione says, that was an absolute calamity. I love calamity. I cannot remember a game where they looked more disorganized and improvisational. They looked like they hadn't ever been coached in any system of play at all. They just, again, hats off to the Sens, but like even as the second best shot suppression team in the league, they give up 25 a game. The Flyers needed 50 minutes to get to double digits. Like that's calamity is a great term for it. Thank you, J.E. I might use that one tomorrow. It might be in the headline. All right. Next one here is from Wolfman, I think that says, dumps like that, they have to place their dumps properly. The dumps haven't been in the right spot. Highlight of the night. Bush has had some real gems lately. There was a few games ago, there was the goal Ayrson gave up, and he was like, you think that would just hit him? He's had a couple lately that were absolutely fantastic.
Low-key hilarious.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, you need to, on our YouTube page right here. In fact, go watch it now. We're just going to keep complaining about this game. Yeah. We, after the carnival was over, we got to record an interview, all 3 of us with JJ and Bush. Fantastic.
It ruled.
20 minutes we talked to them, and the whole thing was pretty fun.
We had ice cream together.
Yeah, we ate ice cream, which all of us were also eating in the middle of the interview, which was fun. Yeah. Bush had no qualms. He was like, yeah.
Bush was shoveling it in.
Yeah, JJ's talking. He's eating.
Yeah.
All right. Next one here is JH says, experienced Flyers Taki.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I, too, am beginning to question the wisdom of Rick Tocchet because I came in, there was no evidence that he was like a particularly good coach. I just didn't know. I did not know what he was because of the situations he's in. Yeah. He's in, that Tampa thing, which was a joke for like, a season and a half or something. Right. He's in Arizona, which is in an organization that doesn't exist anymore, like turmoil. They were all right, maybe a little above expectations at some point. Gets into the playoffs the one year because they expanded the playoff field to 24 or whatever. Fine. Vancouver is what it is. JT Miller and Elias Pettersson hate each other, so I don't know what you're supposed to do when your 1C and 2C hate each other. Maybe he had a hand in it. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I just needed to see. And now I'm not going to sit here and say he is a bad coach because at the end of the day, this isn't a very good team. I am starting to question a few things a little more because I thought we'd see signs of improvement and not regression. That's all. Next one here. Who is Mike Mall? This is the worst hockey team I've ever seen. Oh, my God. Why did they tie it? Overtime loss. I resent that loser point. No, that is like
that is the correct read.
When they are sitting at 9 and fall to 10, this game we will look back on and go, you know what? That point right there cost us the top 8 pick.
Yeah.
Like that's what we're going to say.
That's
one right there that I would love to give back. Jamie Drysdale, happy has scored 5 points in the last 8 games. Cool. Maybe his offense is starting to come around. Yeah. But score 2 in the next game and leave this one alone.
It was one of the worst hockey games I've ever seen.
Truly, through 50 minutes, Kelly and I are like, is this the worst game we've ever watched? And sadly, like we've said that a few times this year, but this one was up there.
Curious.
Just nothing happened. All right, this one, JH again says, screw this team, screw everyone, sell the team, sell Mike, sell Rick, sell Jamie and Trevor and the Travi, tear it all down and sell everyone's dogs too. Screw them for choking in overtime. That is the sort of night, like,
It is. It's
to
like
tie it in that fashion and then just give it right back. One shift in the 3-on-3. Like, you couldn't even get to the second shift. I just, you got the 2-on-1 and it's James Reimer. Like, if you were going to tie it, then win. You know, like if I have to sit through an extra period, like if we have to go beyond the 60 minutes, then give me the win. At least I end a little happy. That was, this is a game to resent.
Yes.
All right. Next one is Adam S. Says, this team is too small to compete for 82 games.
Is that the problem?
I will say there was like their inability to get to the middle of the ice tonight. Like they also need to just be better puck handlers. Like just because there's traffic doesn't mean you can't get through it.
Right.
But they do need, and I don't mean power forwards in the like third and fourth line sense of the word. They do just need some like, Owen Tippett feels like the only one who goes into a corner and hits somebody at this point. And I cannot believe we are at the point where I'm saying that, Kelly. Owen Tippett's one of my favorite players to watch on this team, and I can't freaking believe it.
He's been good. But they're not particularly... I mean, they're not huge. This isn't like a huge team, but they're not like tiny.
I just think a lot of their like physicality comes from, and listen, like Brink, Barkey, these are tenacious guys, but like a lot of their physicality comes from dudes like Hathaway, where it's all right, but
what is he going to do with it? Right?
Like, and if he's getting the time to really make an impact, well, who the hell isn't playing? Someone who can actually score the freaking puck.
I get it.
So I will say, like, they need. I don't know if it's so much size; it is strength. Like they need more strength, and I think a couple of these young guys can get there
too. Because like Barkey is small, but he does those things.
Yes,
and does them well. So like maybe just don't be a baby about it.
That could help. And like, you know, Couturier, maybe not like the big hit guy, but he uses his body in a physical manner, and he just can't get there anymore. Yeah, like there was one tonight where the player, a defenseman in the corner, he's coming in on the forecheck. Guy couldn't find the puck in his skates, and he goes to hit him, and by the time he gets there, he'd found it. Yeah. It's like, man, that should have been a turnover and a centering pass, and instead it was an easy breakout. Yeah. All right, let's see. From JH, I'm here for the Barkey minutes controversy.
It's a new thing to complain about.
What did we say he played tonight?
Less than 10, baby.
Less than 10. Well, he's got to take it out on somebody, I guess.
Fewer than 10.
Fewer than 10, yeah. Steph did that to me in the middle of one show once, and I was like the most mad I've ever been on the air.
I was doing it to myself.
Yes. No, that's acceptable. All right. From Obi-Wan. Who was Vladar yelling at multiple times in game? The only thing I noticed was at the end.
The clouds, God.
Yeah, and that was, it seemed like maybe they were celebrating a little too close.
Yeah, at the end, I think he was
maybe
pissed that
Stützle chirped him after he scored. I didn't see throughout the game.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
I was also looking up things like, you know, lowest shot totals over the last 11 seasons for a lot of this one. So, you know.
Whining.
Yeah. But he had a lot to complain about. Hopefully everybody, and like the coaches, the players, the Zamboni drivers, the GM, the president, whoever, the fans, he deserves to yell at everyone tonight. All right, this next one is Local Drunk 69. What's up, pal? What does this coaching staff do well? I'm tired of this team playing the Talkit Turtle. Bill, I hope that's an Irish coffee. We need more Kelly shows.
Of course, Local Drunk 69 likes Kelly shows.
Yeah. I will say, in defense of this coaching staff, I suppose, this game notwithstanding, because they had one power play and it was like, did they? I don't even know like how I set the over under at 0.5 shots. They did not go over. The special teams have started to come back around. Sure. Part of that is they're taking way fewer penalties. So like they've killed like, I think 8 in a row and 14 of the last 15. And coming into tonight, they were at like 25% in their last 7 or 8 games.
Yeah.
They went 0 for 1 tonight, so it knocks it down a little. But the special teams are starting to come around a bit. I was hoping for like a 1 for 3 performance in the power play because that was a big part of what I wanted to do tomorrow. But we'll see. All right, and with that, we're headed to overtime. I'm sorry, Kelly. We're headed.
I know.
Go to AllPHLY.
I suffer.
Go to allphly.com to continue watching. All right, next one here is JH. God is dead, hell is empty, and all the devils play for the Flyers. Someone talk about culture so I can feel worse. I'm not going to. We're not going to do that tonight. We don't need to feel worse. We just need to go home and forget about the team for 19 days. But tune in tomorrow at 4 p.m. for a show where we talk about the first 55 or 56 games. All right. Our Park has a few in a row here. First one is, why can't the Flyers just play a hard 60 minutes and not show up in the last 10? You know, for a lot of the season, it's been like bad first and then good for the rest of the way. This was literally the final 10 minutes.
They really weren't like all the way good until they pulled Vladar.
Yes.
It wasn't until they had the extra man that they were actually dominant.
They had, I'm pretty sure they had like 4 or 5 of their 16 shots in the final 10 minutes and then one in overtime, allegedly. All right. Next one from our Park is Vladar needs to start doing the Hextall, Hacksaw, knee slash to our own players to get them to wake up.
Yeah.
I will say, man, you know, it would be... if he goes over to Italy, maybe Czechia and medals, but ooh, groin tightened up a little, and suddenly it's Aerson and Kolosov. That would be a real shame. It'd be a real shame for this team's lottery odds. All right, next one. It's our Park again.
Richard Park is on one tonight.
Free Andre, free Michkov, free Grabenkin, free Barkey. I miss Torts. Whew.
John Tortorella is sitting, I don't know, on the horse farm, being like, you see? You see?
Just sitting there watching the highlights. I would love to, like, what's he on, TNT or no, it's ESPN, I think.
Yeah.
I would love, like, when they're doing a national game and like the Flyers are on the other channel, like to just sit there and like listen for 5 minutes.
I know. He's got something to say.
I would like to hear that. Night like tonight, especially. All right. Casual Warzone guy says Top continuously putting Dvorak out in overtime just to lose every opening faceoff is hilarious. Playing Michkov for F's sake. Report Top dice.
Oh no.
Oh jeez. I will like. So they don't have you so badly, especially this team, because they always lose on the first shift. You so badly need to win that face-off. And they have one guy, like, Dvorak's good. He's a little over 50%.
Put Coots out, he skates immediately off the
He's
ice.
just so bad. He's so slow. I don't know if you can survive it. Like, yeah, he wins like 57% of his face-offs, but what happens if you lose?
Well, then
the same thing happens as always, I guess. What's the difference?
Face off, immediately get off the ice.
Yeah. It is tough too because it's the like switch ends, so it's the longer change. But yeah, like Beeline, I guess, because like your man down anyway. He's not keeping up in the 3-on-3. I don't know. Maybe that's the idea.
Yeah.
All right, JH here with a big one. JH spending $50. Love it, JH. JH is 10 observations. All right, if you're gonna make me read, at least it's $50. Thanks. 1, the Flyers suck. 2, the Flyers blow. 3, I hate watching Taki. 4, I dislike Rick's head. 5, I hate trap ass BS hockey. 6, Vladar was all right.
He was good. 7,
sell the team. 8, sell the dogs. 9, sell the building. 10, sell Gritty. Come on, Gritty's fine.
Gritty's fine.
Gritty's fine. All right. Our Park. I love when people are this mad.
I know. It's great.
Our Park again. Culture, process, brick by brick, losing. Hashtag clutch time. That's what they are at overtime. Hashtag clutch time. God bless you, Kelly.
Thank you. Sorry.
All right. This one's sometimes people sneeze. Another one here from JH. Gavin McKenna is a violent criminal.
Would not.
I mean, technically true.
Yeah, would not draft him.
I need to know more about this story, but it kind of just seems like he beat up a guy in a bar fight.
Buddy had it coming to him.
He may have.
Based on the reports.
I've been in fights. Sometimes the other guy deserved it. Sometimes I deserve it. Sometimes you get caught and get arrested because you're a high-profile, soon-to-be professional athlete. I can't believe Penn State. Like, it's Penn State cops that arrested him. I'd be like, no, we're not doing it.
No.
Couldn't find him.
I think somebody thought he was going to get a little payday out of this.
That's probably how this goes, right? All
Who
right.
knows? Whatever.
I don't know. Hopefully he falls to like 7 and the Flyers get him or whatever.
Exactly.
All right. Next one here is Obi-Wan. Lock him up. I guess people are just, this could be about Target, but I think people are trying to will McKenna to fall in the draft a bit. I mean, like, this could get complicated in terms of like Canadian citizen charged with a felony. Like, this could be complicated.
If
like,
he were to get convicted of something, it could get messy. But I would imagine
chances are it's like, yo, my signing bonus, how much you
charges
want
are
of
going
it?
to be dropped.
Yeah, that's my guess. All right. Next one here is, what's this say? Kyle Endale, I guess. The amount of hit pieces you'd see if Michkov and McKenna were both on the squad would be insane. I guess, I don't know. Whatever. Next one, casual Warzone guy. When I hear the Travi, I want to vomit. They're 30. I think it's funny.
It's kind of funny.
Funny.
We can have some small joys.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, like Charlie came up with it when they were like 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie did it.
Yeah. Charlie, never forget, it was Charlie. And he made a better joke than the one I suggested tonight, which kind of irks me.
Sometimes
because I'm the funny one around here.
I know, but people don't know.
Because I said make him all 3 stars.
Ah.
But it is funny because if it's like 3 and 2, well, then obviously he's 1.
Right.
But it's like, who could be 1 if you already did someone else's 3? That was considerably better. He is. All right, let's get through the rest of these. B Condor says, Torts will be in the Team USA locker room telling every player to avoid this dumpster fire. I think he's got better things to do.
Listen,
and I'm a Canadian, guys, personally. Or like Euros. All right, was that it? Oh, okay. I thought we had a couple more. That is all the time we have for you on PHLY Flyers post-game presented by Bet365. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you tune in right here on the PHLY Sports YouTube page tomorrow at 4 p.m. As we wrap up these first, I guess, 2/3 of the season, heading into this 19-day break between Flyers games. Couldn't come soon enough. Follow us on Twitter at PHLY_Flyers and follow the podcast as well. I am Bill Matz. That is Kelly Hinkle. Thank you as always to Brenna. Be excellent to each other.
We all silly like the mayor.